They said Gray paved the way, changed the rain, released the pain, least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high in Delhi, I'm a fighter jet, journey.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all already know who it is, man. It's Chef. It's my big brother Muffins Martinez in the motherfucking flesh. Big pay-per-view. Well, look, you know what? I'm tired of we don't sugarcoat shit here. Let me just throw this out there. We don't sugarcoat nothing here.
Hey man, like I said before we started the show, no practice shit. Don't talk about it. Let's just hit record and let's give honest answers of what we thought of the show and stuff like that. That's what makes us different than anybody else, because we don't come here and we sugarcoat shit. We don't sit here to like anybody and to blow no smoke up anybody's poo-poo. We're here, I mean, we're just telling the truth. And by no means, we are not experts of anything. This is just our opinions only, nothing else.
You know, and I think that's what you know. The thing is, and I agree. What separates us is we keep it 100. We keep it really real. And I know that pisses off a lot of like hardcore fans because they like to be, hear that everything is perfect. Whatever their promotion is the best. We don't do that. So if this is not for you, don't, just do me a favor. Hit the like button on the way out. You know what I mean? So we get Fightland. Now, I do like Fightland. Fightland is one of my better pay-per-views in MLW. It's kind of like my, man, what was the one in Impact that I used to love to death?
What, the one night only ones?
Yeah, but it had a name. It was a something one night only. Regardless, Impact had some really cool
let me guess, the female ones, right? The female ones?
Knockouts, knockdown, right?
Knockouts, knockdown. There
you go.
Anything with a knockdown, it was always my favorite too. I didn't care what it was. And I usually pay for those just to see the female wrestle. I didn't care.
And the cool part about that, and I know this is not an Impact podcast, but we're talking wrestling. We've said this 6 billion times, this is not breaking news. The real women's revolution started in TNA, right? We always got to give them their flowers. That's where it started. So for anyone who appreciates or has a passion for wrestling as a fan, that should have been something that you were really excited about because nobody was doing it like they were doing it. Salute to the Gail Kims, Awesome Collins, Terrence Harrell, Taylor Wilds. The list goes on, Angelina Loves, and everybody else. But we got Fightland going on. And I know I had to make a video to apologize because I said that Kenta was going to win, and somebody felt it was overdrawn. I don't even know if he used it because I don't have Twitter. But I said my piece, and I was wrong. He was right. So, you know what? Talk to me.
Well, let's say I was rarely right because usually I'm like 95% wrong on anything that I say. But for some reason, I felt down to the bone, down to the last fat in my body, that Mystico was the one who was going to win this. Was because they just been feeding CMLL everything since last year or whenever this partnership came about. So I'm thinking, there is no way in hell Mystico is gonna lose this. And so I was very surprised they had the match now. I thought that they would have had the finals and they would have waited till November. Like they would have done like a Halloween theme for October, and then November in Apocalypto down in Chicago, they would have had the finals and have them win there in front of the home crowd, closer to Mexico, people coming over. So, but it happened Saturday night, so I was surprised about that.
But with all that being said, so you have a name. I call him the Golden Boy, but I messed that up. You said he's the meal ticket, right?
Well, I would call him the meal ticket. What was it? Something I used to call him something else too. The Golden Goose.
The Golden Goose. All right. So we do find out that he wins, and you're like, okay. And I think they even said it something like he's the first Mexican-born person to ever win the Opera Cup. Now, regardless of what you might think of the Opera Cup, Oprah Cup, how we like to call it, that's a huge statement that I didn't even think about. Right? Like I never thought about. He'll be the first Mexican talent to ever win that shit. And when I heard that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even mad at it because I did want Kenta to win because of the partnership with New Japan and
that's why I was surprised you were picking Kenta because of supposedly a partnership with what partnership with New Japan? There's no partnership with New Japan.
Well, we've seen people from New Japan coming over, and it's like,
yeah, we do, but they're usually free agents who come over. Mikey Ito, free agent. The Suzuki Gun, free agent. So they're not like firmly,
I thought Kenta was part of New Japan.
Well, yeah, he is, but he's like the only one out of everybody who we see coming in.
I thought the rest of them were part of New Japan. I'm wrong.
They're all freelancers, and then Yamamoto or Yamamoto, I know I butchered her name, was from an all-female wrestling down in Japan. It has nothing to do with New Japan. Now I figure Mystical, just because they do have a CMLL partnership, and they've been using this down to, they're gonna dry this baby down to the last ink they could get out of CMML. That's why I was saying this is gonna be Mystical. They're gonna have them do it in November, which I thought would have been fitting.
Would have been smart.
They would have been fitting if it would have happened in Mexico. Have the finals in Mexico in their own thing and have them win it there in their home crowd would have been huge. It would have been more on the emphasis of being the first Mexican-born wrestler to win the cup. But yes.
And the cool thing was, now I'm flip-flopping all over the place, but with the CMLL partnership, we did see Ikuro, we see Ikuro Kwon. Who else was there? I know it was like 2 or 3 guys.
Was it David Boy Smith? Was he there also?
I think so, because I know that there was a group of them that went over and they were representing, America.
United States for the team that were doing tournament.
Yeah, and that's the first time we've seen any MLW talent crossed over anywhere, right? So that was exciting. So yeah, I'm not mad at it because Mystico is a super talented guy. Like, we all love the guy's work. You know what I'm saying? It's not, how they do that. And I'm not a big Bullet Club fan, but I think it would have looked really cool to have a Bullet Club guy, holding some shit. But it is what it is.
The first match they had, that it was Kenta versus TJP, amazing match.
That was a good match.
The Mystical and Bad Dude Tito match, another amazing match. So that was the first 2 matches. They gave us, if I remember looking at the clock, I want to say like 33 minutes of
they were long
wrestling right from the first 2. Huh?
Those 2 matches were long. I'm not saying it was long drawn out.
Yeah, it was like almost like 32 minutes in the 2 matches combined to start us off on the shit. Now this is how you start a pay-per-view. You give them matches, cut the shit with the talking, just go right to the ring. Let's get this done. I actually like how the thing was set up.
Yep.
There was no issues. There was no technical issues. There was no audio issues. It was perfect. And another thing that I noticed, which lets me think that they're listening to something we're saying. Last time we did a live show, what was I complaining about a lot? Look at the damn table they gave the announcers.
Oh, yeah.
In the corner. All right. Did you see what they were saying at this time?
Bro, they had it all set up. They had a table. They had the thing with the nice logos in the back with nice big ass leather chairs with the neck rolls in the back so they could, put their necks back and not those lawn chairs they were using at the last show. It looked professional this time around. It gave it that pay-per-view feeling and not another TV episode. Exactly.
So I was laughing when I actually saw that when BRG and Fish went up there and sat down and they kicked out the one guy and you see the nice leather chairs and everything. I said, oh, look at this. They finally upgraded the furniture. That's all they had to do, bro. I will start complaining about the furniture now. But it brought a smile to my face when I saw that. I was like, somebody actually listened to me for a change.
Listen, you definitely was hitting on that. Like, yo, this.
Oh, dude, I was complaining about that shit hard. I was like, come on, man. Like, damn.
And watching this stuff, and I enjoyed the first 2. Let me just say that. I enjoyed the first 2. I was like, and for some reason, I guess maybe because we've done a lot of lives lately for MLW, I've never really paid attention to Bad Dude Tito's entrance music. So we didn't do it live this time. You know, the Canelo fight was going on. So,
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. We apologize to wrestling fans, but Saturday night was a sports heaven for sports fans. The UFC at the Sphere.
I was just about to say,
Canelo
Canelo and Berlanga for boxing. You had Sugar Shane O'Malley and
UFC.
How are you saying
the
his name?
Sphere.
Yeah, it wasn't happening.
Yeah. I mean, Mexican Independence Day was a full force Saturday night. And I said, I told you, I said, I love wrestling, but dude, today is a sports heaven. I cannot miss none of this shit.
No. So I watched it the next day, right? I got up early. Everybody was sleeping. I'm like, I'll watch some MLW.
Did the same thing.
Listening to Bad Dude Tito's intro, I'm like, yo, this shit is fire, right? Like, everything Bad Dude Tito keeps doing in MLW, I become more and more of a fan, right? Like, I like his in-ring work. We don't get a lot of his promo shit. We don't get a lot of him getting to speak on his own. But the little sample size we have, he felt kind of funny with, I think it was De La Renta and all of them when they were trying to figure out who's the baby daddy.
Yeah,
he had
the baby daddy.
He was kind of funny. We seen him with El Jefe, and he talked his shit. I'm like, oh, you know, they put a mic on this guy. He's a guy, right? Like, he's going to be able to do his thing. I think he showcased against Mystico. Yeah, he had the dominant physical game, but to last that long with Mystico, who's all over the place, that to me, I was like, you know what? I need Alex Kane. I need Bad Dude Tito. And I want that national openweight fight to happen again, right? Like, I want to see that because those two, I think they're money. We know what Mystico is going to get. Unfortunately, I think they should put a mouthpiece on him so we can get some kind of, you know, direction with him instead of just match after match. But that was my favorite match of the night. I really enjoyed Mystico and Bad Dude Tito more than Kenta and TJP, which was a really good match. Yes. But Bad Dude Tito and what do you call it, to me, stole the show.
Yeah. My next match was the Rogue Horseman versus Bomaye Club. And the reason why I say that is for a couple of reasons why that became like my whole new thing now. They had Kevin Knight come out. Love Kevin Knight from Japan. He did a lot of stuff for TNA a while back last year. So he's a proven guy, young guy, proven guy, and he's going to be there next month for the show in October. But coming in, trying to help the book, I was going to say the boot camp clique.
We're going way back.
Yeah, dude. I'm talking about the boot camp clique with what the little, oh my God, what's his name? The leader of the boot camp clique.
Oh my God.
It's going to come up anyway. It's going to go in my head. But he came out, he helped them. JBL thing, I don't understand this JBL thing. I really don't. It felt good because that was by far the biggest name to ever pass through MLW wise. Is JBL. I mean, we thought it was Mark Henry and Theodore Arlong when they were sitting down the ring for Bomaye Wakanda match, but this by far has to be the biggest name to ever pass through there to do what he did. You know, if now he's doing it for TNA, he did it for GCW, other places, so it didn't feel that special. But him coming out and having a presence there, that was huge. Where does this go forward? I have no idea.
Well, I know when he pulled up to Impact Wrestling, I think he's done two things for them, right? Like two events.
Yeah, like he's done the clothesline from hell to help Ziggler not get screwed out of the matches. Yeah. So he's been helping people, not screwing people up. But he hasn't said anything. He comes and whispers something to them, and then he leaves. Same thing he did with Brock Anderson. He whispered something. Brock got the win, got the pin, got the win. My thing that I loved was the vignette from before when they were in New York sitting outside, and then inside the ring when everybody came out and stuff. But, and I'm going to say something, and I think some people are gonna say this, but BRG, him talking now, and him the last 2 times that I seen him with sports coats and suits and whatever, and the blonde hair looks a bit like a little mini Ric Flair, a little Nage.
Whoa!
You
You know I'm taking this and throwing it on the gram.
you can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in the voice when he's talked the last 2 times. Like he looked like he's the leader of the crew there. Like he said, I'm taking over. He's saying a lot of things, and I'm going like, this guy looks like someone from 30, 40 years ago who I loved. And then it hit me. He looks like a little mini Ric Flair, the way he's been dressing the last 2 times. The shoes, the sports coat, the way he looks more confident.
Are you going to say he's styling and profiling? Are you going to do that right now?
I'm not saying that. I'm not even going to go that far. I'm just saying there's a little Nate coming out on in him, and I love it. I was gonna say I love it because he looked like something finally turned on in BRG, and he's saying, "This is my path. I'm gonna take over." And if they could keep this going, not just MLW, and keep this going outside, like where the Andersons wrestle, where they're the AWL tag team champions, if they could force that there and push this out there outside of MLW, dude, we could see something brewing here for a long time to go. And the 2 Andersons and how they be running Georgia since the 80s, which is true. The only guy who don't fit is Fish. Yeah. I would like somebody else to be there, maybe somebody younger, but right now I'm fine with that because, like I said, BRG is Flair. You got the Andersons already, which are in Tully, and then you have Bobby Fish could be Ole Anderson, the enforcer, Lex Luger type of deal. But then I would like somebody mid-experience, not young, but somewhere maybe late 20s, early 30s to take the Bobby Fish spot. But right now, if you hear him talking, BRG sounds like the leader of the crew right now. So, and I love the name, the Rogue Horseman. I'm waiting for the merchandise to come out because I gotta get me a T-shirt of the Rogue Horseman. So now, another thing that bothers me, I'm gonna say again, Boot Camp Click. Bomaye got pinned. Okay, they lost the match. How do they get a tag team match for the next show?
I mean,
that right there, just that,
I think that's the part that is the most frustrating being an MLW fan is most of the shit don't make sense, right? But going into this pay-per-view, I didn't know what to expect. I know anything Horseman is your shit, right? Like you're a Horseman guy through and through. You always have been. But I know for sure if this would have came off whack, you wouldn't have fucked with it, right? So watching them on that rooftop, and I didn't put the 2 and 2 together with BRG with the flare thing. I just thought he had a dope suit on.
Well, if you hear him talking when they get into the ring after the match, it still was screaming at me. The way the confidence that he has.
I was a little nervous about the CW Anderson guy, right? Like I know you're a hardcore fan, you know this guy's work and everything else. He's still new to me. And when they did that promo on the roof, I like BRG, what he said. I like the snarkiness of Arn Anderson's son, Brock. I was like, oh, okay. When CW Anderson speaks, you fucking listen, right? Like, this is somebody who's done this for a long time. Not that I know his work, but you could hear how professional he knows and how he clicks and everything is making sense. And there's a style to him that I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker is talking, right? Like, and you better pay attention. It's not like one of those guys that they flap their gums and you're like, all right, cool, that was cool. No, this guy is talking his shit. And I'm like, let him talk more, right? Like if the other guys don't do as much talking, I'm cool with it. Let this guy talk because he's talking shit.
And the thing with CW is he's not well known because it's all independent stuff that he's done the work after MLW.
Yeah.
It was all independent stuff, but if you follow independent stuff like some of us do, you see that he's been busting his ass, putting in the work for the last 20, 30 years. So,
But even with that, like, how many people have we seen come through Impact, MLW, and everything else that you're like, this guy looks okay. Like, they don't get it, right? Like, you just, they'll grow. They're green.
Yeah.
So even though this guy's been on the independents for a long time, he comes into MLW and he feels like a super vet that has been doing this for way too long in front of way too many cameras. Nothing phases him. And I like that when something feels organic instead of it being forced. And I'm like, yo, I fucks with this. Like, I like the dude. I think he's going to be fucking dope. I hope Brock kind of works into his body a little more. I don't want to see the chunkiness to it.
Exactly. He said, like, lose 5 more pounds and you'll look just like your dad.
Yeah.
But I was going to say about CW, somebody like him, George South, and I asked you this question before on the show. Do you want to be the champion of the company and get paid $50 a week, or do you want to be losing every match and get paid $100 a week?
Mm-hmm.
I asked you this before. George South mentioned, and other people mentioned, they want to be champions and get that money. But in George South's case, CW Anderson, they understood they were never going to be the champion $50. They take that $100 and they become the jobber or whatever, but they understand the business. They know what they can get away with. They're not going to be superstars in TNA and places like that. But outside in the independents, they're a name. Oh, I've seen this guy here. I've seen this guy here. I've seen this guy here. This guy been wrestling for 20 years. This guy has 3-4 homes because he knows how to do his business. He's not out here in some kind of indie show selling Polaroids for $10. Just to make money. They understand this is my lane. Chef is a cook. He's a good cook. I'm not a cook. Why am I going to go the chef route when I know I can't bake shit? That's his lane. That's his lane. I got to go somewhere else where I'm going to fit in. If the job is the one for me, I'm going to make my money. I'm going to make this guy look good. And I'm going to get paid doing it.
See, this is where, like, with MLW, I'm a little nervous about. Because obviously we're big fans of Alex Kane. We appreciate the brother. We're fans of the guy.
Oh, for sure.
He has taken a lot of losses. Bomaye has taken a lot of losses. And I'm like, what's the direction now? Because if the kid, you said he was an Impact.
Kevin Knight.
Kevin Knight. Now, I don't know this guy. But his intro music that they played, I'm like, fire. To me, this feels like some fucking hip-hop shit. And I'm all for it. I would love for him to come to Bomaye.
High-flying kid.
Yeah, and that would give Bomaye a whole different kind of...
Oh, dude, imagine him being part of Bomaye.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Like basis. Yeah, that would be awesome.
And now, CWN, well, the Rogue Horsemen, if you want to call them tweeners, cool. I think they're heels, but if they're tweeners, they're tweeners. You have WTF that we don't know what the fuck they really do, but... they're a mess. And then you have fucking Contra Unit. And we know they're nothing but heels. There is no good guy shit from them. They're the epitome of bad. You need a face group. Bomaye Fight Club could be that group, and they're easily to relate to, right? Like, anybody that comes from any kind of urban environment, you can fuck with them. You need something. The only thing is, what are we doing with Alex Kane at this moment? Because... granted, he had the rocket to his back. He won a lot. He was great. Company was doing well. And then it just seems like when Riddle came, it was, all right, we're pushing Kane back. And you're like, well, we need to do something with him because he's our best talker.
And then he lost the title to Kojima, which thought to me was one of the biggest shockers I ever seen. I'm like, what just happened? Like, how? He lost the belt to Kojima. Like, really? Like, okay, and this is where we get into the first 3 matches. it was all toss-ups. But then you had the Dijak match versus Thatcher. We already knew what was going to happen. Thatcher's going to get another loss like he always does on the shows. All right, okay. Then you got Dijak is part of the WTF. He has open contracts. Who's the first name he calls out? The other guy from WTF.
Yeah. And
which made you like, hold on, how are you calling your own teammate out to be if you want to be a real fighter like that? No.
And they did this before. They did this before with WTF, where WTF goes at WTF, and you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, just imagine the lineup they have now with Dijak. What's the guy's name? The fighter that with the ears.
Oh my God! Filthy Tom
Lawler and Davey Boy Smith. You got them three right there now. Imagine if you had them three, and then you had Bishop still there, and then you had the most marketable man, Holiday still there, and Hammerstone. All those guys being in one legitimate, faction with Mark Cardona, they would have been going crazy right now. They would have been like the new contract unit going on. But every time they put somebody new, somebody leaves. Like what happened?
And that's the weird thing that's confused me about WTF. Like, you're putting all these stacked, like from the beginning, because you had Zeta Steel there, right? And you kind of with Zeta Steel came BRG. BRG wasn't really WTF. It was just kind of her guy, but he was surrounded by them. So you go, okay, you added the hot girl, right? Because she's a beautiful young girl. You had the hot girl. You had Holiday. You had AJ Francis. Like, everybody you could put in there, you put in there. And you're like, the only thing I think they're trying to do is trying to make MSL some kind of credible. But, like, most of these guys besides Tom Lawler don't even match with MSL. Like, my son was like, yo, why did they even have MSL talking for Davey Boy Smith Jr.? Now, I don't know his New Japan work. My son's a big New Japan guy. So he was like, yo, he can talk shit. Like, he was nasty in New Japan. Him and some other guy.
Well, they're part of Suzuki Gun. And he was the tag team partner of Everybody Dies down in AEW. They call it the Killer Elite Squad.
So...
And those guys were crazy together.
See, and the thing is, like, Davey Boy Smith Jr., he feels like a badass, right? Like, he looks like the kind of guy who's going to go in there and beat you up. Donovan Dijak looks like a fucking serial killer, right? Like, he looks nuts. AJ Francis, goon, right? Like, we could go through this list. Richard Holiday.
Be there now with them.
Bishop, has he been an Impact ever since he kind of showed up the one time?
Yeah, that one time, and I've never seen him since.
Wow. All right.
I don't know what happened with that one.
We all like Bishop, and we haven't seen him since. We hope he stays in MLW because he was really good. But, like, at some point, you got to go, yo, we got to get rid of this WTF shit. It don't make sense. It's doing nothing. They're literally, WTF is only for WTF. It fights itself. So you're like, stay in your own way, I guess, do what you're going to do. But it made Donovan Dijak's first big thing feel like nothing.
And then the next big question mark that I have, contract unit with Cruel. Cruel should have won that title Saturday night. Like, why does he get disqualified throwing fire at Kojima? Like, I still don't understand, like, the logic behind why they don't want Cruel to win this belt. This is the second time that he's got a title match? And both times had nothing? And I think it's also like, you building him to have the title. They're talking about it. We need one more belt for the quadruple fecta.
Exactly.
Champions, blah, 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 blah. And okay, see, another goose egg.
Like, and me being a big country unit guy, right? Not even being biased at this point. So we get, and like you say, what's her name?
Janai Kai.
Janai Kai. Janai Kai won the belt underneath Promotions of Rock. Right? Yeah. So Country Unit inherits that belt because she jumped over. So that's not like she won under the flag. She's still the champ under the flag.
Yes.
But that belt was won somewhere else, and she defected, came here. You're like, all right, dope, right? She came in, she fucking kicked what's his name's head off his shoulders, put the flag.
Yes, I got justice, yes.
On the independents and everywhere else. She's all in. You're like, dope. You want that from your talent, because how many times we see talent that are in factions, they work somewhere else, and they don't ever rep the shit. She takes that badge of honor everywhere and reps it. Fucking, you gotta love that. Ikuro Kwon, original Contra Unit member. You get Minoru Suzuki. Now this is huge because Suzuki is a badass motherfucker. So he comes in, he has the Contra Unit joint over his head. You know what I'm saying? They win the tag team belts. You're like, fire. First belts come in, dope. Now you get Kruger, who Kruger's been dominating, has had some really good matches. That one with Matthew Justice was fucking insane. So you're like, trajectory, he's on and up. My thing that I agree with you completely, that to me makes that match falter even more, is the fact that they actually cut a promo and he was explaining how important that belt was to come into Contra Unit and how they needed that belt. So you're like, holy shit, it's got to happen now because it's of importance, because he said it's important. MLW not pulling the trigger kind of brings me back to the Richard Holiday of not giving him the belt. The guy does all this work. He makes everybody fucking fire. He's fucking doing it. And then when the belt comes up, bang, he loses. And you're like, oh, okay. So now what are we doing with Contra Unit? Because Janai Kai's been champ for the longest, and I love her work. She's been killing it. But at some point, I'm at a point now that if someone takes the belt off her, I'm good.
It's going to be a year next month in October.
Yeah, she's had it for a long stretch. She's been a great champ. She's had a great run. If someone takes it off her, cool, right? She's had the belt. She's proven her work. What we wanted with that belt, she's put that prestige on that belt. She's put a blueprint. This is what you do. Salute. Contra Unit, Kwon and Suzuki, they just got the belts. However long they hold them, cool. But what about Kruger, right? Like, Kruger's supposed to be the baddest guy in MLW, and
I thought he was going to win Saturday. I think, okay, he wins the belt now. He holds the belt for the rest of the year, 3 months. And then next year, January, February, whatever. If McGriddle is still there, because I'm pretty sure this dude, McGriddle, will jump ship as soon as Triple H gives him that call. Yo, bro,
yeah.
We want you back. He's gone. I know that for a fact. And if he stays there, then January, February, then he won his title shot. You get him now. Okay, fine. Now McGriddle got the championship for the year. Good. Now he's the champion in February. But now Kojima's still champion. So you're going to have a good guy fight another good guy for the title. If it happens this year at all.
See, and this is where I'm a little puzzled. And I agree with you. Riddle's going to jump because he's not signed to MLW, right? He's like a PBA. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a handshake deal.
Yeah.
He's honoring everything that he's doing, which is cool. But we all know, and when you're not signed to anything and it's all handshake deals, dude, they just call me. I gotta go.
And not for nothing, let's not try to fucking act like if WWE calls your cell phone, you're not going to take it, right? Like,
please.
Like, when people say, "Oh, I turned them down," no, they didn't want you, right? Like, you didn't turn. No one would. For your career, just going on NXT, all of a sudden you're on a whole different bracket. All of a sudden there's a lot more eyes on you, and that's just NXT.
Yeah.
We're not talking Raw and SmackDown and
the pay scale changes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Scale. Like, and people could say, "Oh, well, their NXT venue ain't that big." Okay, but that NXT fucking venue is always packed, and those motherfuckers is loud. They go ham. Unlike a lot of these other smaller companies.
And now in October, things are changing now.
Yeah, and they're going to hit the road. So you sit back, you go, all right, if fucking Triple H, The Rock, TKO, whatever, whoever wants to call your cell phone, Boop, they call, you're gone. Riddle, gone. Riddle's a name. Now, if you sit back and you go, well, shit, do we put the belt on him if he could leave? No, you fucking don't. And not for nothing, MLW, let's not be surprised, because when those young cats that you like won that number one contender shit, we've never seen them again. The tag team kids?
The tag team guys, yeah.
So
wasted youth. Yeah, man. So, I'm still waiting for those guys to get their tag team title shot.
9 months later.
I think that was the beginning of the year. Maybe the end of last year. And we never seen those guys since.
Let's do a little role reversal. Let's just say we have an inkling Riddle might be gone, right? Would you pull the trigger on Dijak?
It's too early, but no, because right now, if McGriddle actually leaves, then I have to have a rematch between Kojima and Crew. Crew has to get the belt.
Well, anybody should win that belt by now.
Yeah, I mean, you want to put the belt at least on the heel, and that's when you turn our boy Kane, the whole Bomaye club, back into faces or whatever, which whatever, I don't even know what the hell they are now.
Oh, have like a Bomaye versus costume kind of thing.
Exactly, and then you have Kane win the belt back. That was the plan in the future, anyways. But if Dijak is going to be there, I mean, I know I hate when somebody comes in and they put the belt on them so damn quick, but if that's what's good for business, hey, go right ahead. But, this is the things that are missing in MLW.
Yeah.
Mystico is going to be a champion that I want to say, I know for a fact it's going to be like 8 months, 9 months.
He's been for a long time.
He still hasn't defended the title against any MLW wrestler in any show. Even in MLW rings, he's defending against CMLL guys. Now, Friday, he's defending this Friday coming up. He's defending the belt in Mexico against another CMLL wrestler. So at least the belt is being defended. Hopefully, we get to see the match. If they tape it, and then they give it a future episode or drop it for free one day. Oh, CML, whether we're dropping this on Friday, I understand that, but the belts are not being defended. We are about to see the open weight title with Badu Tito being defended next month against Justice, because they had a little dust stuff in the back. So now that belt is going to be defended. We're going to have the Bomaye Club, who lost again, are on a losing streak, get a title match. Why? I have no idea. But at least we're going to have 2 title matches being defended next month's show. And we didn't even get not one female match in this show.
Yeah, that was odd. I was really taken back by that. I'm like,
yeah. You had a good thing there with Renee Michelle afterwards, arguing with Gigi Ray, I'm sorry. And I'm thinking, okay, good. They're going to start pumping out the female stuff. And
yeah. It was irrelevant. Now, what I want to talk to you real quick before we get up out of here, when you had said that he never defended the belt versus anybody that's not like of a Mexican talent or CMLL talent, if you look at the Oprah Cup, he barely fought anybody from MLW.
Exactly. It was all CMLL guys.
Yeah, it was the
except for Badu Tito. Except for the last 2 matches, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Badu Tito and then Kenta.
And Kenta's not, it's only Badu Tito because Kenta's not MLW. TJP is not MLW.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, so the last 2 matches that he had that are not CMLL guys have been Badu Tito and Kenta. Every other match that he's had in MLW, even one match with Rocky Romero, and he's from everywhere. So why? I mean, are they trying just to keep it as a high flying matches with him and all the Mexican guys? Or he doesn't have confidence in anybody else except wrestling Mexican guys? You know what I'm saying?
Now,
a lot of reasoning behind too many questions, and we don't know why this happened. But yeah, he's gonna wrestle again this Friday. He's being defended at least, but against another Mexican guy in his own home turf.
Which, listen, defend the belt, cool. We've been saying this forever. MLW needs content. It'd be dope even if it's just that match that they go live for, right? Like,
not even live. They could tape it and then do it next week. Oh, we're dropping this match at 8:00, here, and with the American commentators, and then they do the voiceover. Oh shit, we got this on MLW content. That becomes cool for Mexico. Mexico, that place is always packed.
Always.
Now, always packed.
My last question to you. I thought that was it, but I have one more question. End of the year or beginning of the year, would you be okay with BRG beating Mystical for that title and bring it back to the Rogue Horsemen?
Oh God, hell yes.
Whoa,
hell yes, dude. What I saw from BRG, the interview on top of they were drinking over there in the champagne, and then the one inside the ring after they got done with the Bomaye Club. If you need to go back, listen to them, listen to his voice, his demeanor, the aura around him has completely changed. He looks like he's a leader or something. Like there's a purpose of for his life right now. This thing just gave him a purpose as a wrestler to be a leader of something. And he looks like he's gonna be a good leader. And like I said, I would love for this to continue somewhere else. Like go to ALM where the Andersons are tag team champions there. Having defended, they're about to lose. Here comes the Rogue Horsemen. Here comes BRG. Here comes Bobby Fish. Do like the old days and just put that name out there and start showing those clips from other places. This is how you build a faction. This is how you build partnerships. This is how you build content. This is how you build the ears, the eyes of people seeing things, and people talk. When people start talking, that's when you know something good is happening. Is when folks start talking about something and you say, we got them. They're talking. Especially in the day of social media. We got them. They're talking about it. They're whispering about it. The whispers, it just got loud. They're screaming about it. They're talking about it. And you can only go off from there. But,
what do we know?
What do we know? We're just two Puerto Ricans talking shit, sitting here, eating, just blowing smoke up each other's asses. No Diddy.
I'm about to say pause.
Yeah, no Diddy. Just for the hell of it. But hey, this is why the territories were built back then. You were able to do stuff like this, and then you had the TV cameras rolling, and they showed you the following week. Now you have social media. One good clip, 30-second clip, goes viral, and boom.
Yep. Listen,
if the chick who goes Tua goes viral for that stupid shit, imagine
how the fuck is that go viral for fucking that? Like,
hey, and we all know who's the original Tua girl is, and that's a Paige.
Whoa,
right?
Whoa,
right? She's the original Tua girl. Yes, you know that for a fact. Mm-hmm.
So,
and you know which page I'm talking about.
Before we get in trouble, right? Before we get in trouble.
Oh, like I lied.
Listen, we talk this shit. We have fun talking this shit. I didn't get to finish what I wanted to say last time because I had to go do something and A-Brad fell. So, we were speaking about a certain somebody. So I will say this. If you feel a certain way, come on here. Like, nobody acts like assholes. Talk your shit. Because when we sit here and we were saying, yo, you're better than what the fucking deathmatch shit is, because and it wasn't shitting on deathmatch, even though we're not a fan of it. What me and Muffins are a fan of are watching people's resumes and careers and their stories keep growing and telling, so we could listen and watch their stories as they progress and not have their careers shortened. That's what we both meant by that. Second off, when we sit there and we said, oh, great match versus Rocky Romero, great match versus fucking Ikuro Kwon, it's not about fucking sitting here saying every match is a fucking banger when it's not. So if you feel a way, come on here. Talk your shit. Everybody's respectful adults here. We all have our fun. Say your piece. Like, I'm down to talk. You know, it's all love. That's what we do up in here. Listen, this fucking platform is built to show love to the culture, right? However it may be. We show love, we respect the culture, we do this shit, but we keep it honest. That's what we do. And that's what my point was going to be. Can't blame us. We're just two fucking honest motherfuckers. What do you want us to do? So, for my big brother, we out of here. Deuces. Like, subscribe, share, and all that good shit.
Deuces.